Howdy. Howdy.
Jimmy Dean Show.
Howdy, I think. Howdy. Hoop-de-doo, hoop-de-doo. I hear a polka and my troubles are soon. Hoop-de-doo, hoop-de-dee. This kind of music, it's like heaven. You got me higher than a kite. Well, I haven't done my soup and fish. I think I'm going to get my way. Hoop-de doing it tonight. That gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce Miss Edie Gourmet.
Be a Constantine and Prince. While I always smile, that's my style.
Right now, here's the very talented Mr. Don Adams. Get out of here. Please, and hear me as I walk about if you're doing kind of guy. If we could just have your attention for a minute, ladies. George Joe! Well, Frankie and Johnny were lovers. Oh, Lordy, how they could. Well, they swore to be true to each other, just as true as the stars above. He was her man, but he was doing her wrong. Well, Frankie went down to the corner just for a bucket of beer. She said to that fat bartender, "Has my loving Johnny been here?" He was my man, but he's been doing me wrong. Where's the Kleenex, please? We got trouble. He said, "I ain't gonna tell you no story. Ain't about to tell you no lie. Well, I saw your man Oh, Frankie walked into the party, and she yanked out a little 44. Well, a four times she shot right through the hardwood door. She shot the man, 'cause he was doing her right. Bring on your rubber-tied buggies, and you can fetch out them rubber-tied hags. 'Cause the 9 men are going to the graveyard, and only 8 are coming back. She shot her man, 'cause he was doing her wrong. He wasn't doing her right at all.
Hello, young lovers, wherever you are.
How you doing, Ralph? Happy Valentine's Day. Who's the card from?
My laundry. Listen to what it says on here. These fancy ruffles on this card are tokens of romance. These dainty bits of frilly lace were once your underpants.
I think that's kind of romantic and nice.
Love from my laundry, but not a word from Lassie.
Well, look, here's a whole bunch of cards from people that would just love to be your Valentine. Now,
let me see one.
Here's a very pretty. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Roses are red, violets are blue. If I could leave Washington, I'd fly to you, Ladybird.
That's nice, right? Hey, wait a minute, here's another one. Here's another one, just like it. Just exactly like it, yeah.
Roses are red, violets are red.
Wait a minute, violets are red?
Mrs. Khrushchev. But Jimmy, these cards, what good are they? There's nothing here from Lassie.
Well, look, you got to take into consideration that Lassie's card could have been lost in the mail. Now, why don't you call her?
But Lassie's in Hollywood.
So what?
You're right, Jimmy. This is a day for love and romance and sentiment.
Right.
I'll call her.
Good.
Collect.
Collect.
Sure, why not? She's loaded. Hello, information? Give me Lassie's number, will you? What? Where does she live? How do you like that? This is information asking me for information. Huh? Hollywood 34699. Thank you, honey. And by the way, you sound very nice. You're not a dog, are you?
Now, come on, Ralph. Look, hang up and call the number.
All right.
All right?
All right, here we go. She's near me.
Hey,
Lassie.
What are you doing, Ralph?
That's just the area code.
Now, come on. Here, I'll dial the cotton picking number.
Please, Jimmy, I'd rather do it myself. Hello. Is Lassie home?
What's the matter?
A man answered. Sounded like Rin Tin Tin.
The whole thing is probably very innocent. Means nothing.
Yeah? Then how come he was panting like this? How come that, huh?
Yeah, you're right. The dirty dog.
What a beastly thing to say.
I'm sorry.
What,
Wait a minute. Hey, look.
Yeah?
I'll tell you what. Why don't you just simmer down? Now, it could be that it's not Rin Tin Tin at all. Talk.
I'll just check and see if it is. Hello, to whom am I speaking, sir? Oh, it's your mother. Mrs. Lassie, is your daughter at home? Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. She's out of town. Probably skiing up in Sun Valley with Rock Hudson's daughter.
Come on now.
I was a fool to think she cared for me. A fool.
Ralph.
That's what I
Wait a
was.
minute.
Was a fool, that's what.
Fool? Wait a minute.
Yeah, fool.
Hold it. Wait a minute. Now, what I always say.
Yeah. What do you always say, Jimmy? What?
Now, listen a minute. What I always say is it's always the darkest before the dawn.
Hey, I think I'm going to write that down. You know, a saying like that could catch on.
You know, Ralph, what I'm trying to tell you is this. You gotta give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. Now that's the story of, now that's the glory of love.
Yeah, but Jimmy, I've always sometimes, dreamt of persuading Lassie to become Mrs. Rome, Another bride, another groom, another sunny, honeymoon, another season, another reason for making whoopee. A lot of shoes,
Laugh a little,
a lot of rice,
cry a little,
I'd be so nervous,
let them cry.
I'd answer twice.
Cry a little.
It would be thrilling,
That's the story.
I'd be so willing
That's the glory
to make
of love.
whoopee.
Now you'd have
Yeah.
no doorbell or telephone.
No. Me and my darling Lassie,
Pray tell.
with a lifetime supply of foam. She washed the dishes
Win a little,
and puppy clothes.
lose a little.
She's so ambitious,
Always get
she
them.
even sews. I would be rosy,
Now that's the glory
life would be
of-
cozy.
Now that's the glory
Just
of
making love.
Now that's the glory of. Now that's the glory of love.
Mr. Dean, Valentine just came for Ralph.
Oh, I got one from my laundry. This is probably from my butcher,
Ooh-wee.
Look. Oh. Be my Valentine Lassie. Oh. If I were any happier, I'd faint.
Wait, hey, it's got something on the back here.
Yeah?
Let's have a look at this. P.S. I will visit you on the Jimmy Dean Show next week. How about that?
Oh, be still, my throbbing heart. Oh.
You know, that's really true. She's going to be the guest next week on our show, one of the guests.
You know, I said if I were any happier, I'd faint.
Yeah.
I'm happier. Ah!
Come here, easy. Simmer down. Everything's going to be fine.
Jimmy, you know you're right about that saying of yours.
What was that?
A stitch of dark gathers no dawn. That's the story of.
Now that's the glory of love.
Whoopee!
We're back with more of our show right after this message. Everything that can be said about Edie Gourmet's singing has already been said, and a great deal better than I can say it. She's a fine singer. She just recorded an album of country songs, and we're delighted to have her on our show. She's a sweetie, Edie Gourmet. Say howdy to her.
How many arms have held you and hated to let you go? don't want to know. You want me to want you when I'm in love with somebody else. You expect me to be true and go on loving you, though I am sad and blue. You think I can't forget you until someday you want me to want you when I am strong for somebody new. And though you don't want me now, I'll get along somehow, and then I won't want you.
This is probably the, I'm sorry about that. Probably the only recording artist we ever had on the show that said, you don't have to say anything about the record. And we appreciate it. But that is, and I'm going to talk about that, because that's from a new country album.
Yep.
And it is something else. I'll tell you.
Well,
she
thank
just
you.
did a fantastic job
Thank
on
you very
it.
much, Jim.
And it's a pleasure to have you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
And Steve is, she's putting me on. Are you
No,
putting me
would I put you on?
No. Steve is in a new show. And
Yeah.
of course, everybody knows Steve Lawrence. Well, you don't.
What makes Sandy run?
Yeah.
Give that a little plug.
Yeah, and it's looks like it's going to be a very big thing.
I sure
and
hope so. He's on stage right now, you know.
I was just thinking that he might probably be on stage.
I mean, he's not watching the show or anything.
He's not looking at television? Or
Oh, no.
You're positive?
Oh, absolutely. He
He's
couldn't.
not looking. Steve's away now. Oh, we can play now.
Ain't we got fun? I'm a small one. He's a tall one. Still we have fun. Your wife won't like it. She's watching out there.
My wife, she's tuned in to Dr. Kildare.
While they're missing, oh, we'll be kissing. Ain't we got fun? But you know, friend, when the show ends, back home we'll run. I'll be with Stevie.
And I'll be asleep when we finish TV. But
In the meantime, hey, we got fun.
The meeting will be tonight at 14 Wilhelmstrasse in the basement. You will be there at 9 o'clock with the microfilm of the bombs that will blow up the world. 9 o'clock, 14 Wilhelmstrasse.
I'm not a spy.
half of the Jimmy Dean Show with George Jones, Don Adams, and lots more right after this station break.
For the past several weeks, we have had each week on our show one of the big names in country music. And again, we have a marvelous guy with us this week. He's a delightful little guy that sings the heck out of a song. Say hello to George Jones and the Jones Boys.
Your heart turned left, I was on the right. You couldn't have hurt me more with dynamite. Thought I was your destiny, but just before you got to me, your heart turned left, I was on the right. I almost had the battle won. What could I have said and done that put you in another's arms tonight? I don't know how I lost out. I just know without a doubt your heart turned left and I was on the right. Your heart turned left and I was on the right. You couldn't have hurt me more with dynamite. Thought I was your destiny, but just before you got to me, your heart turned left and I was on the right. I walk around just kicking stones. Oh, keep it sure won't get another bite. Honey, why'd you leave me on? Without a warning, you were gone. Your heart turned left, and I was on the right. Your heart turned left, and I was on the right. You couldn't have hurt me more with dynamite. Thought I was your destiny. Just before you got to me, your heart turned left and I was on the right. Yeah, your heart turned left and I was on the right.
Good to have you aboard, young'un.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here.
I wish the folks at home, I wish we had color television for about, did you ever see any more purple outfits in your whole life than this group of fellows are wearing? You know, when we had some of the other boys, oh, you started to applaud. You don't have to applaud for purple outfits, never. Where was the state, what was the place in Texas you want to say hello to?
We'll say hi to all the folks in Vidor.
Vidor, you can't do that.
Can't do that.
No, it's impossible, ruled out. You can't do it on television.
All right.
We had some boys on, and some folks kind of got on us because we didn't introduce the group that backed the entertainer. And George, so we'll stay out of trouble, would you kind of introduce your fellas here?
All right, Jim, I sure will. Over here on the steel guitar is a boy named Sonny Curtis, and here on the bass is Don Adams, and the boy on the drums in the back.
Comedy this week.
Comedy. He is, and on the drums is a brother to Don. His name is Big Dom Arney Adams, and back here on the guitar is the young Adams brother of the family. His name is Gary Adams, and the fiddle flunker over here, Charlie Justice.
And that takes care of the group. Yeah. And that one you just finished done with, that was a new record, brand new record, too.
Brand new, it just came out.
You recorded one of my very favorite songs. A lot of people have recorded it since, but this was the original version of it. Could you do just about that much of She Thinks I Still Care? All right, fine.
Just because I asked a friend about her, just because I spoke her name somewhere, just because I rang her number by mistake today, she thinks I still care. She thinks I still care.
Fine. I've got a big part in the next song. Before I do that, Bill, can you get a quick close look down here of these boots that George is wearing? That's the kind. I was at, that's sterling silver tips. You can tell where the money is, friend. I'm telling you. And heels to boot, right?
I can tell you the truth where they come from.
Really? Don't. No, that's all right. I'm not interested. You stole them from Ray Price, didn't you?
Yeah.
No. Now, I got the big part in this one, right?
Right.
I got, the big line, and you're going to let me come in there and just knock the tar out of it,
Right.
okay?
Here we
All
go.
right, let her go.
Well, I met Sammy Simpson down in New Orleans. He had a lot of money and a big limousine. He took us honky-tonkin' on a Saturday night. We did silly pretty, everything was all right. Her eyes started glowing, we should have went a fool and a wham bam.
Who dropped them?
Ah. Well, the police fire chief, highway patrol, knocking down my front door with a big long pole. Sammy was a line on a cold floor. Some of the middle river, 44. Billy was a crying clown, a shooting guy, and wham bam.
Who dropped them?
There you go.
Thanks, George. Yeah, George, go. Yes, as we've told you from time to time on our show, we like to have a public service. And we have a roving reporter that just travels all over this city. He comes up with some very interesting things from time to time. We would like now to take you to our roving reporter. Here he is. Come in, roving reporter.
Good evening. This is your roving reporter. I'm standing in the lobby of a midtown hotel. Outside are some 5,000 frenzied teenagers. They seem to be on the edge of hysteria as they stand behind the police blockades, waiting for a glimpse of that new sensational singing group, the Bedbugs. Here in the lobby with me is the personal manager of the Bedbugs, Mr. Farley Flip. Let's go over and see if we can't have a few words with him. Mr. Flip? Who's there? Mr. Flip?
Oh, hi there.
Hi. Tell me, Mr. Flip, the bedbugs are certainly causing a sensation here in New York. Do you think this fad will spread?
Yes, well, it's hard to say right now, but I have a feeling that... I have a feeling it's spreading already.
Can you tell us a little about how this group got together?
Yes, well, it's a very interesting story. You see, 3 of the bedbugs were at the same college together, but they were starving, they didn't have any money for food or for clothes, so they quit and they became singers.
I see. Well, how long were they students?
What students? They were teachers.
Well, they certainly have been wildly successful. How many record albums have they made so far?
2,500,000.
And how many have they sold?
2,500,000. They have one very rich fan.
I see.
He loves the covers.
Mr.
The
Flip.
last one was a girl in a bikini holding a bass fiddle.
Mr.
For a million
Flip.
of those, yes.
Mr. Flip.
Yes, what is it?
I understand that you discovered the bedbugs. Can you tell us how that happened?
Yes, well, that's a very interesting story. You see, I was in this cheap hotel, and one day, purely by chance, I happened to have the window open, and I heard one of the boys, Ringo.
He was singing.
No, he was screaming. The truck had run over his foot.
I see.
Well, he sounded pretty good to me, so I signed him up. There's only one trouble.
What's that?
Well, every time we record now, we have to run a truck over his foot. Sounds terrible on its own. Yeah.
I see. Well, anyway, they certainly have made a big hit with all the teenagers. Tell me, is it true that 200 policemen were called out to guard the bedbugs when they arrived at the airport?
Yes, that's right, but it didn't do any good. No good at all. Those wild, crazy girls swooped down on the bedbugs, and in only 1 minute had stripped them of every stitch of clothing. Only 1 minute, would you believe it?
That's pretty hard to believe.
Would you believe 2 minutes?
No, I don't think so.
No, but what if the bedbugs pitched in?
Mr. Flip, what would you say was the largest audience the bedbugs ever played before?
Yes, the largest audience they ever played before. Let me see. That would have been when they did their act at Yankee Stadium in front of 65,000 people.
I guess that was quite a triumph.
Well, actually, they didn't do as good as we expected.
Why was that?
There was a football game going on at the time.
I see.
Giants against the Packers.
Well, Mr. Flip...
Giants won it in the last quarter with a field goal right through the goal post.
Mr. Flip.
Beautiful kick. Yes.
Mr. Flip.
Yes, what is it? What
They
is it?
certainly
Speak
have
up.
come a long way since then. Weren't they on the Ed Sullivan Show the other night?
Oh, yes, they were. You should have been there. It was a madhouse.
Quite frankly, Mr. Flitt, don't you think it's a little ridiculous, all that hysterical, incoherent screaming and yelling every time they perform?
Well, yes, but don't forget the audience makes a lot of noise, too.
Mr. Flitt, I have here a review from the New York Times which comments on that Ed Sullivan show. Would you like to hear it?
I don't think so.
It says the bedbugs have a tendency to build phrases around unresolved leading tones. This precipitates the ear into a false modal frame that temporarily turns the fifth of the scale into the tonic, momentarily suggesting the Mixolydian mode. How do you feel about that?
You really know how to hurt a guy, don't
I'm sorry. Just a couple more questions, Mr. Flitt. Do you handle any other singing groups?
Yes, I do. I handle another group called the Fleet.
I see. So you really handle two groups, then, the Fleas and the Bedbugs.
Yes, that's right, I do. But I'm working with another group now that'll make the Fleas and the Bedbugs look sick.
What are they called?
The Exterminators.
Mr. Flitt, well, just one last question.
Yes, what is it? What is it? I certainly hope this is the last question.
What do you think of the Beatles?
The Beatles? They'll never make it.
Why not?
Well, first of all, those ridiculous haircuts. Really a childish way to attract attention. I don't see why they have to resort to those stupid little tricks to try and get people to look at them.
What about your hair?
And what about it, fella?
Isn't it a little strange?
A little strange. Well, I've been wearing my hair like this all of my life. I just didn't do it to get people to notice me and get attention my way.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for your observations, and good night.
Thank you, and good night to you, too.
Let's sing a song of the South. Let's sing a song of the West. Let's gather round and everybody sing the songs we all love. Hush-a-bye, 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 lady.
Hush-a-bye, my baby, slumber time is coming soon. Rest your head upon my chest while Daddy hums a tune. The Sandman is calling, shadows are falling, while the soft breezes sigh, as in days long gone by. It was way down in Missouri where I heard this melody when I was a little child upon my mama's knee. The old folks were humming, the banjos were strumming, sweet, oh, sweet and low, sweet and low. The old folks were humming, the banjos were strumming, sweet and low.
Well, in North Carolina, way back in the hills, lived my old pappy, and he had him a still. He brewed a white lot until the sun went down. He'd fill him a jug and he'd pass it around. Mighty, mighty pleased him, pappy's home to him.
What a light.
Well, Jimmy, the revenues too, searching for a place where he made his brew. They were looking, trying to book him, but my pappy kept on cooking.
What a light.
Well, I asked my old pappy why he called his my face turned blue. Lightning started flashing, thunder started crashing.
What lightning.
Tomorrow being Valentine's Day, we thought we'd do one of the kind of love songs. An old love song, kind of a nice one, called on Bob McCullough, Ken Bridges, and Bill Elliott. An old one goes like this. When first I saw the love light in your eyes and heard your voice like sweetest melody, speak words of love to my enraptured soul. The world has naught but joy in store for me. I love you as I never loved before,
first I met you on the village green. Come to me, or my dream of love is o'er. I love you as I love you when you were sweet, when you were sweet. 16, 16.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you. Whew. No breathing place now. We hope that the past hour has been fun for you. We've certainly had a few jollies and enjoyed it very much, thanks to some delightful guests, and of course our usual wonderful gang that join us here every week. Next week, we got some wonderful people. We have Ralph's sweetheart, love of life, Lassie. We told you she'd be here, and a very good friend, a fine performer and a great writer, Mr. Don Gibson, will be here. And a guy that we had a ball with, George Kirby, will be back with us. Fine gal singer by the name of Skeeter Davis. All in all, it looks like it should be a good one. Till we see you again next week, good luck to you. God bless you. Everybody at your house. And bless your heart. Grin once in a while. It's good for you. Thank you, and a good night.